every time I go. And I'm live, it looks like. And there's no one here yet, and that's okay because it's just now when I was scheduled to go live. I hope that people do join us. Today is a THWIP Thursday because I never get around to doing a WIP Wednesday. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Besides, I like saying THWIP Thursday. Sometimes I wind up doing a THWIP Friday. But in any case, here we are. We're just starting out. It's at the top of the top of the half hour at least. So I'm just counting stitches here. So, anybody who's here, hi Gina, glad to see you. Everybody else who's here, if you like, identify yourself and tell me what's going on. Oh, hi Daniel, glad to see you too. And what we do here, it's THWIP Thursdays. It's really just talking about works in progress and finished objects. More often than not, I have more finished objects than I have works in progress. Hi, Pat Dancer from out of town. Does that mean you're traveling right now? Let's see. Just today, I posted some pictures. Hi, Barb. I'm really glad to see you. Just today, I posted some pictures. Hi, Ola Joe. On Instagram of two patterns that I posted to Ravelry, two different shawls. Hi, Jenny. Glad to see you. And they were one of them I call my Alicia Shawl, and one of them I call my Granny D Moss Stitch Shawl. Because we all know about Granny D, and we all know that she's had this moss stitch challenge for May, and I've done several different projects with the moss stitch. And here is the shawl that I posted a picture of just today. So if you look close, you can see the texture. I like the moss stitch. I had not used it very much before, but I like it. This is Lion Brand Mandala Tweed in the colorway White Elephant. And I have some left over, so I'm in the middle of doing a beret that would match with this, because I don't think a beanie would necessarily go all that well. So I've just started the beret, and this is as far as I've gotten with it. I also posted my Alicia Shawl. This is one example of it. This is using some ice yarn that I got from Yarn Nut. If you do not know Yarn Nut, her name is Gia. Yarnnut.com. She is a U.S. Dealer of ice brand yarns. So you don't have to pay postage from Turkey. You just have to pay postage from Wisconsin. And this is some very nice yarn. Let me see if I can find the... Here it is. It is... I don't even know what that... Okay, this label was a little bit cut off, so the information is incomplete. It's all polyamide and some other kind of synthetic fiber. It has a very soft feel. It doesn't feel like, like a harsh acrylic thing. It has a very soft feel, and I love the colors of this too. And look at all. I love it when I use a variegated yarn and I have some really nice accidental pooling like that. I love that. So, let's see. Never mind. Okay, Ola Joe. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Yes, the ice yarn is gorgeous. Oh, Ola, you're sharing this particular video. I think that's wonderful. I hope that I get more viewers. That would be really nice. Speaking of which, I am working on getting watch hours. I'm getting close to an interim goal um, um, for the month of May. I'm doing a marathon live stream on Memorial Day. And if it is as successful as the live stream I did for Easter, when I was able to stay on for like 10.5 hours, I hope I can stay that long this time, then I think it will be very helpful with my watch hours, and I will meet my interim goal. But of course, I am looking for more watch hours. We all know that we need watch hours if we want to get monetized. And I want to have 3,000 by June 1st. And then I want to have 4,000, which is the requirement for monetization by the beginning or possibly the middle of July. I think that's realistic. I would like to see that happen. Then again, I've known disappointment before. I can wait if I have to wait. Hi, Pat Dancer. Let's see, what am I missing here? Let's see. Yay. So anyway, so this is one whip that I have right now. It's going to be a beret to go with that moss stitch shawl that I showed you. Let's see. This is another whip. I'll be pulling stitches out. Because like a fool, I didn't put a stitch marker in at the end. But this is going to be my Hugs and Kisses scarf in this wonderful tweedy yarn that I got from Hobby Lobby. That's going to be a gift, and I'll make a hat to go with it. I might have a hat already that would match it. For other whips, I have I've spoken about a sweater that I started doing as an original design using moss stitch. And also I started talking about a polo shirt that I started doing that was somebody else's pattern. And I like them both. I don't know where I should place my focus next. I'm thinking I should finish the darn sweater and then get the pattern written up and tested and published, because that could mean some revenue there, especially, you know, summer won't be with us forever. Then again, I can finish the polo shirt anytime. I think I've made a decision, haven't I? Anyway, so I published the pattern for the Alicia Shawl and for the Granny D moss stitch shawl. Oh, okay, the bandana cowl, Barb, that sounds good. You've been posting some really beautiful pictures lately. Let's see. I posted a pattern on my blog for this hat, which I call my rice stitch hat. Starts with a simple, 5 rounds of your basic crochet in the round, and then it converts to rice stitch. Well, I thought that wasn't good enough. So I devised an updated version that does the whole beginning round part with ribs. And then we move into the rice stitch on the side. Now, because we're we're doing the ribbed pattern, we have to go 6 rounds to get the right one-to-one alternation between the front post and the regular double crochets. So for that, I recommend using a DK yarn and possibly a 5mm or smaller hook for that. This hat came out a little large for me, but I'm still going to use it for Hat Not Hate. I did another example of it in this yarn, which was a gift. It's very, very dark navy, as you can see. So I could not do it at night, even with the overhead lights on. It was a little difficult to do that at night. So it's taken me longer than it might. Because normally I'd be able to knock one of these out in a couple of hours or less. But that's where I am with the hats. I still have the Hat Not Hate contest running. And Nightbot will be telling you where to go for that, for the Hat Not Hate contest. I'm actually considering doing a new video about that because I initially did it as a community post, and I'm regretting that now because I could have gotten watch hours with the if I had done it as a video. So I'm going to do a new video about that and accept entries at both the video and the post. But still, putting entries at both places would constitute duplicate entries, which would invalidate both entries. If you made a guess at one or the other, and I'm going to say this in the video, if you made a guess and you want to change it, go back to your original guess and edit the comment. Okay, bye-bye, Pat Dancer. See you soon. Oh, look, Nightbot just posted the link to my Hat Not Hate contest. I would recommend that everybody, if you're interested in that contest, you read all of the rules, because there are rules, just as in life, there are rules, and ignorance is no excuse. Let's see, who's this? Anyway, hello, Suzanne Wallen. Glad to see you here. Anyway, so tell me, everybody, what's on your hook and what's in your cup and what's for dinner. It's about 4:45 here, so beginning to think about dinner, even though I did have a late lunch, but that's never stopped me before. I also had an early lunch. I had 2. Don't judge me. Let's see. What else is going on? Tell me everything, people. I've told you about my stuff. Let's see. I do have possibly a few announcements. For those of you who do not know, I have a new Linktree page where every single one of my links is listed, and Nightbot will be showing it, and it will be in the description to this video. And there you will find a link to this channel, a link to the Hat Not Hate contest, a link to my patterns at Ravelry, my merch at Etsy, all 3 of my blogs, and a few other things as well. Let's see. Whisper says she has the bandana cowl, not banana, on the hook. Forest fruit tea in the cup. Grilled thick slices of bacon. You had me at bacon. Oh, Jenny, is that the Bag O' Day summer shawl? Is that the one that she recently posted that looks so lacy? I want to try that. Let's see, Ola Joe says, Yarn Geek's bucket hat is on your hook. Yes, I saw that. That looks fun. Oh, excuse me. Oh, very sorry. Didn't sleep very well last night, but then I never did. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Leftovers, fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy. I'll be over soon, Ola Joe. You can count on me. I saw that Katrina was working on a shawl, but I didn't realize that it was the same one. Oh, yeah, I want to look at that tutorial. Usually I can make my own notes from tutorials and then be able to reproduce the pattern. Not always. Sometimes they're a little bit too complicated. Let's see. Hi, Sandra K. Dusenberry. Oh yes, Nightbot is telling us about the wonderful hand-dyed yarns that Daniel at Pawpaw Yarn Company does. He was my very first interviewee in my series of interviews with men in the yarn community. He has his own small company, small but growing company, doing hand-dyed yarns. And he will be this weekend at he's in the UK, he will be at the Yorkshire Yarn Festival. And if you follow him on YouTube or Instagram, then you will learn more about that, and you'll be able to see. He only has 15 minutes to present everything that he can, and I hope that he gets lots and lots of sales out of it. He's been working very hard. Let's see. What else does Nightbot say? Yes, another one of my sponsors. Deborah. Definitely go see her. Excuse me. Yeah, Nightbot does point out on occasion some of my Patreon sponsors. I do have a Patreon because I'm not monetized on YouTube yet. And I only have one membership level, and it is the lowest dollar amount that Patreon recommends. So for that, you get occasional free patterns, you get early access to videos as soon as they're uploaded and scheduled, and also other benefits to be determined as time goes on. So I would not turn anyone down who wanted to help me out at Patreon. Also, I have Cash App for direct donations. I recently used a Cash App donation to purchase a yarn Swift so that I will be able to wind hanks of yarn into cakes. A yarn Swift is a very, very useful tool, but they don't come cheap. Anyway, what else is going on? Tell me everything, everybody. So anyway, so I'm just doing this crochet in the round. Actually, tomorrow I have a tutorial going live where I show how to, instead of doing a flat crochet in the round, to do this ribbed crochet in the round. And then just from there, you can do anything you want. You can do, you can continue the ribs all the way down. You can do this kind of rice stitch thing. You can do anything you want, but it's just a technique that I use to create these kind of ribs. And you can see, I wish I had created this sample in a lighter colored yarn, but you can see a little bit of what's going on there. But that tutorial goes live tomorrow. So let me talk about my posting schedule. I haven't mentioned that yet, which is unlike me. So today, of course, is THWIP Thursday, where I talk about WIPs and finished objects. Tomorrow, on Fridays, I do tutorials. I'm thinking of adding something else once a month and doing tutorials 3 Fridays per month. Saturdays, I do Saturday shout-outs, where I talk about other people, which I do anyway. But I talk about other people and recommend that you go and look at them. Hi, Lisa. Glad to see you. Sundays, I do poetry readings. Mondays, I now have my Monday Men series of interviews with men in the yarn community. And so far, it's been going well. I have quite a few men who are interested. I've reached out to other men, and we're still working out details. Some of them I haven't heard back from, so I'm going to follow up there. But that's going well, and I'm enjoying doing it. Tuesdays, I have Topic Tuesdays. Just recently, just this week, my Topic Tuesday was all about yarn, revisited because it wasn't the first time I talked about yarn, but I had some things to talk about. And then on Wednesdays, I have what I call my Wednesday free-for-all, which is a live stream with no topic. We're just here to have fun. Oh, hey, Joe. Glad to see you. What I win, Lloyd? 4, 5, 6. I was just telling people about my my weekly schedule. I had already shown them my. I only have a couple of WIPs right now. I have quite a few finished objects. And just today, Joe, I was telling people I posted 2 new patterns to Ravelry, and I put a few things this week on my blog in the way of free hat patterns. And I don't have an awful lot beyond that to talk about. We turn the ringer off and let it go to voicemail. Let's see. Everybody's greeting each other again. And let's see. Also, I was talking about my series of Men in Yarn on Mondays, and I mentioned that I have patterns on Ravelry. I have merchandise on Etsy. Some of it is specific to this channel, and there will be more. Some of it is really more occasion specific. Lately, I've been doing a lot of graduation and Father's Day stuff in the hope that that would be popular nowadays for people looking for gifts. But as time goes by, I'll do more seasonal stuff as well as more yarn-related stuff and brand-related stuff. And let's see, what else was I going to talk about? I had a list somewhere. That's not it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I had an idea. You know, I have said that I make my hat patterns free because, you know, frankly, they're pretty easy to do. And I want to encourage people to donate, especially to Hat Not Hate, but to other things. Hi, Ripola! But also to other causes. And I have been reaching out to people in an effort to compile an ebook of patterns that we could sell either on Ravelry or somewhere else. and donate the proceeds to some sort of a charity. I myself am in favor of feeding the hungry. Call me crazy, but that's what I think is important. If there are any pattern creators here who are interested in that, then do reach out to me. My email will be in the description. And also, it's also in the About tab on my main channel page. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I hope, Ricola, I hope you see the shawls there, and I hope you like them. I'm not known for really great photographs, and, you know, I've never made a secret of that or never tried to play that down. But I think that the patterns, I hope that the patterns will speak for themselves. Let's see, I would like to have better photographs. And you know what? I had an idea for a new pattern and I didn't write it down, so just right now. I'm going to write it down before I forget it. But I had an idea for a new pattern, which is a variation of a pattern that I saw online, which is, you know, what most of us do. We look at something and we think, do you know, wouldn't it be better if I did this differently? And if I did that, and if, you know, made all of these changes. Okay, Ricola is asking what the latest one is called. I posted 2 patterns today. One of them is called the Alicia Shawl. The other one is called the Granny D Moss Stitch Shawl because of Granny D's Moss Stitch Challenge. Okay, here is a sample of the Alicia Shawl. It's very much like a boomerang shawl, except it's got some of this filet work in it. I did this with a lovely variegated ice brand yarn. There are other pictures on Ravelry. And this is the Moss Stitch Shawl. It's just a great big right triangle, but using the moss stitch and expanding on both sides at every row. And let me hold it up close so you can see the texture a little bit. I love the texture. Before Granny D did this moss stitch challenge, I had not used it much at all. In fact, I'm not sure if I ever had. But both of these are simple patterns, and they're available for a pretty reasonable price at my Ravelry site. You can find my Ravelry link from my Linktree link. Hi, Dana. Glad to see you. By the way, this Moss Stitch Shawl was done with Lion Brand Mandala Tweed. And I'm also doing a beret to go with it. I've just started it because I've got enough left over. I could do like 40 berets. Maybe not 40, but a few. I could do a beanie after the beret, certainly. But I like the colors in this moss, or rather this mandala tweed yarn. And let's see, what else do we have in? Ola Joe, if you go to my about page, you will find my Linktree link, and from Linktree you can find my Patreon. Alternatively, a Nightbot, if you scroll up, you will find a link that Nightbot has posted for my Patreon as well. And if you wait long enough, it'll post it again. And also my Linktree link will be in the description of this video, but I don't know whether you can access the description right now. If you do, do an alt-click so that you don't close this tab when you go over there. You know what I mean? Keep this tab open. Needs me some hours. Speaking of which, Dana, I sent you an email. But, okay. Who else is saying anything? Suzanne likes my shawl. I like my shawl. I think it's beautiful. I like the texture. As I was saying, I really had not done the moss stitch very much before this challenge. And I really, really like the way it has turned out. I have a sweater design in the works. Another thing I was talking about earlier, whether I should really just get back into that sweater design because it uses the moss stitch, or whether I should pick up that polo shirt that is somebody else's pattern that I have been working on. And I have no doubt that I will complete both of them at one point. But I think I'm gonna pick up the moss stitch sweater, because then I'll have another pattern to put up on Ravelry, and that'll be a little more complicated, so I can charge more for it, because it will take a bit of work and a bit of testing, certainly. Okay, what else do we have going on? Let's see. Oh, Daniel, I'm glad you're still here. I was singing your praises and talking about the Yorkshire Yarn Festival. Daniel, if you want to post a link about the Yorkshire Yarn Festival, please do, because you have been moderatified, and you can post links if you want. Also, if you anybody else who is not moderatified who would like to have a link posted, then let us know, and someone who is a moderator will help you out. Okay, so what are we doing? We are here until 5:30. At 5:30, Dana goes live again. Oh, Dana, how was your daughter's ceremony this morning? I didn't look at the video, I have to confess, but I know how proud you are of her. Oh, no, Joe. YouTube kicked you out of the chat? What did you do? It was because you were snarky about opera last night. I'm sure of it. Don't get me started. This is my live stream now. Oh, hi, Mimi Cat Do. Glad to see people here. Looks like we have 13 people in the room, which is very nice. 12 people. But could use another thumb or two. Oh, Barb, you watched the video. I'm sure she got lots of awards. And of course, she's a very, very smart young lady, and also a very beautiful one. Let's see who else is here. Okay. What are we talking about? Let's see. I hope I haven't been missing people. Sometimes it's hard to catch everyone. Okay. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Dana. Oh, as soon as actually, probably as soon as I log off of here, I will go and look at the pictures that you posted, because I want to see. I'll send you another email. I sent you one earlier today, but I'll send you another one. Let's see, what else are we doing? So, Everybody who has come in recently, tell me what's on your hook and what's in your cup and what's for dinner and all of that sort of thing. And also, if you have not subscribed, please do. And if you have not clicked the thumbs up, please do, because that helps YouTube know that that people interact with me and people enjoy my live streams and my videos. So, so what else? Anybody else who has not told me what's on your hook right now? I was telling you about this beret that I'm working on with the same yarn that I made that most recent Granny D moss stitch shawl. Let's see. Let's see. So, you know, if you haven't seen my tutorial about crocheting and the round, it's not as difficult as it might seem. I think of it in terms of course I do, pizza slices or pie wedges. You start with, usually you'll start with, in your first round, you'll start with 12 double crochets. It might be a different number, it might be a different stitch, but whatever you start with, that's the very point of your wedge. And then in the next round, you have 2 stitches in that wedge. And in the third round, you have 3 stitches in that wedge. And in the fourth round, you have 4 stitches in that wedge. If you remain conscious of your wedge, then it's much easier to stay in line. I always increase. No, I won't say always. I almost always increase on the last stitch of the wedge. Some people don't like that. They think it creates a line up the side, or up. Well, you can't see it with this variegated yarn so much, or this tweedy yarn so much, but they think it creates a line that they don't like. I sort of like the line that it creates, and it helps me a lot. There are exceptions to that, but almost all the time I will do my increase in the very last stitch of a wedge. So, like this wedge, I'm in round 6 now. So the previous round had 5 stitches in the wedge. So I'm doing 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 5th one, that's not right. 1, 2, what wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. Okay. The 4th one is in where you saw in the previous. Okay. I'm making it a little more confusing than I probably should be, but the previous round had 5 stitches in the wedge, and now in the last stitch, I'm doing my increase by doing 2 stitches in the same. Once I found that very useful. You might find it confusing. You might think it's a load of hooey, but once I realized that's how it worked, I never had a problem with crocheting in the round again. Let's see. Uh-oh, coping with yarn doesn't feel very well. Oh, probably because every Thursday coping with yarn goes to Chick-fil-A. Let's see. Does anybody else come in the room that I haven't noticed? You can sit here and stitch silently. Oh, by the way, Ola Joe, Nightbot just put up my Patreon link if you're still looking for it. And if anybody else wants to see my Patreon link, you're certainly welcome, because it's right there in the chat. Next, you'll see my Cash App link too. So, I registered for a men's fiber retreat in September. Because of course, well, you know, I'm doing this series of interviews with men in yarn. And, oh, hello, Diana Garms. Well, Diana Garms, I might know that if I knew, I'm not sure I know what a seersucker stitch is. Is that a knit stitch that you want to find a crochet equivalent to? I would be willing to bet you could find someone on YouTube who can teach you how to do that. I'm not familiar with that stitch. I would like to learn about it myself, since you brought it up. Okay. Oh, Lisa says she hasn't gone to Chick-fil-A yet, but the thought might be enough to upset your stomach. It would be enough to upset my stomach. The thought of you going to Chick-fil-A upsets my stomach. Oh yes, Nightbot is also telling us about the subscribe button and the thumbs up. So it looks like we have just as many thumbs as we have people, which I think is a good thing. Let us not forget that at 5:30 we're going to see Dana at her channel. I don't have Dana's channel programmed in Nightbot, but Dana, if you're still here, you can drop the link because you've been moderated. Or someone else can drop it as well. At 5:30, Dana has her own live stream, and that's always fun over there. Dana most days does a live stream at 9:30 in the morning and does another one in the evening from about 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. It varies. And on Thursdays, she also does 5:30. And Joe's Bowling Sports, Dana's husband, does lives most weekdays about noon. They're usually together when Dana does her live streams, especially the late night ones. And they're fun to watch. Anyway, what else is going on? I'm running my mouth an awful lot. I would like to see more activity in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and work on my my beret and ignore you all. I did that once. One night, in the middle of the night, I got on and oh, thank you, Lisa. 1, 2. I got on and it was going to be just completely silent. I erroneously called it ASMR, and people were very quick to tell me that I was completely 100% offensively wrong about ASMR and no longer deserved to live because I had gotten it wrong. So I no longer use that phrase because clearly I have no understanding of what it means. And I've done something wrong here as well. Oh, I should not crochet when I'm running my mouth, clearly. Anyway, so I've done that before. I have had totally silent live streams where I just sat there and crocheted and showed what I was crocheting, and there would be a little bit of back and forth. I would answer people's questions just by typing them in rather than saying anything. Oh, Joe, I think you'll enjoy doing a blanket. It depends upon, are you doing it one that is in pieces that you sew together, or are you doing a pattern that is like all one big blanket? Or have you even chosen a pattern? Or are you going to wing it? Lisa, ASMR, I don't really understand it myself. Clearly, since I got it so wrong and people took such offense at my using the term incorrectly. But it's sort of a meditative practice. Oh, you're going to wing it? Oh, okay, okay. Have any ideas, Joe, about what kind of stitches you might use? Or do you think you'll, um, well, tell me what kind of design you have in mind. Um, I'm not sure I would call ASMR terrible. You just have to know the intention. It's sort of a meditative thing. That's my understanding. Okay, okay. Um, um, well, Joe, of course, if anyone can teach you something new, it's going to be Dana because she knows everything. Um, I love to do, one of my very first blankets was I think it's called a Celtic Afghan. It's a free pattern, and I think it was from Lion Brand, but it's got cables and front posts and all sorts of fun things. And the first time I ever did it, it was difficult. And, when I posted a picture of it, I think it was on Facebook, one of my friends said that he had done that pattern and he had to take a nap after every row. Um, because it's one of those things that it takes a few rows to really learn, but once you have it, and you can just whip it out so fast. I I love to crochet blankets too, and I haven't done it in quite a while. I used to do baby blankets compulsively, which is a little odd because I really have very few babies in my life, and most of them I haven't even met yet. It's just the babies of friends I have not been able to see. Um, so anyway, what else are we going to talk about? We have another 10 minutes before we all go over to Dana. Um, I have done quite a few blankets, and I've experimented with a lot of people's patterns. I've never done my own blanket pattern. Maybe I should take that on as a challenge, especially since now that I've been doing my own patterns, I get bored with other people's patterns. That's probably a failing, um, but that's what it is. Yeah, Lisa, I want to make all the things too. And there's just so much time in the day. Especially, well, you have 2 kids, a husband, and a full-time job. And I'm trying to make this, YouTube into a business, and crochet in general into a business, and other things into a business. And, it's like, I heard someone, I think it was on YouTube, you cannot escape these TikTok shorts no matter where you are. I do not have TikTok, but there's no escaping these short videos. And there was some guy who was saying, a well-known guy, and I can't remember who it was, but a well-known guy who was saying when he was young, his mother had told him he needed to get a job. And he said he already had a job. He just wasn't getting paid at it yet because he was building a business. And that's sort of what I hope that I'm doing, because I want to make money with patterns. I want to make money with merch. I want to make money in other ways. I want to make money with other businesses. But right now, okay, Ola, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. But right now, I don't have much coming in at all. And so that's why I was saying I should really cancel on that men's fiber retreat that I booked, because I cannot afford to spend the money for the retreat itself or for the travel to get there. It's in upstate New York. Hi, Freaky Geek. Let's see. So anyway, let's see. It's about 5:22 now. I've been on for almost an hour, so I think I'm going to give all of us time for a pee break and time to grab a bite or refill our beverage or something like that before we go and see Dana at 5:30. So I'm going to call it quits. As always, I ask you to comment, share, subscribe, all of that standard YouTube crap. And do keep coming back. And thank you for being here. And I hope I will see all of you here again. Bye-bye now.